If you're wondering if we've seen anything yet, the answer is no, since July is going to be a crazy, insane month. Why? According to Treasury Secretary Besant, legislation pertaining to cryptocurrency stablecoins may be completed by the middle of July. Right now, it appears like they want to move quickly to pass this bill, which will be very positive for cryptocurrencies overall. They are once more aiming for mid-July. All right, let's see what occurs next. The global stock markets will also be optimistic, in addition to cryptocurrencies. For cryptocurrency to take off, we need outside variables to be optimistic. Why? States in India will shortly unveil a new trade agreement, correct? They appear to be preparing for a lot of good news for the markets, gentlemen. It appears that we are already front-running that kind of news, which is really lovely. For the first time ever, the S&P 500 closes above 6,200. The S&P is presently above 6,200 men for the first time ever. All right. It recently set a new record high, indicating that equities are still rising sharply, and that we are not yet at the peak. Correct. Who comes next when stocks do this first? Cryptos are the younger sibling of this. Take a look at this. In the last 10 years, there hasn't been a red July from zero hedge. There was not a single month that was bad for the S&P or the stock market during the month of July, according to the S&P 500 monthly returns for the 10-year average for 2025. Well, that's coming up soon, July. You guys can't get much more bullish at this point, can you? I mean, you should get as bullish as you can because, as you know, history tends to rhyme, if not repeat, if July had been a completely green month for all these months. What do you anticipate happening in July, which begins the day after tomorrow? Well, it's probably green, right? And that's it for stocks. Crypto will undoubtedly follow. Then, according to President Trump, the Fed should be ashamed of itself and demand interest rates of 1% or higher. Trump is therefore urging the Fed to lower interest rates as much as feasible and begin printing money, men. Since Trump is a businessman and will claim credit for the assets he pumps, I suppose they pump every asset to the maximum extent possible. Accordingly, they will search for Trump. President Trump's remarks regarding the 90-day tariff pauses deadline of July 9th. Quote, I could, but I don't think I need to. Finish the quote. Correct? So if this happens and there are upcoming trade agreements with India and some other countries, well, it just keeps getting worse. Correct? The optimism, the markets will be impacted, of course. The likelihood of rate reductions has, after the market is aware that these occurrences will occur, it is certain that they will, after the September FOMC meeting, jump to 94%. Do we not think that these events will be front runners in the markets? Correct. Since I haven't discussed altcoins in a long time, I have some exciting news for alt season, guys, because we're beginning to see indications on the Bitcoin dominance chart that alt season is literally at our doorstep breaking. The market is always forward-looking, guys, and it definitely will. The SEC has approved changes to transform the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund into an exchange-traded fund, ETF, that tracks Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano. Those are XRP. In addition to Ethereum, the king of all coins, there is also the American coin known as Solana Cardano. So guys, they're preparing for the money to come in. Hugely. Additionally, others claim that the SEC may have until July 2nd to authorize the CTF and begin trading. Whoa, a second one for July then? Intriguing. Take a look at this. The new blockchain-powered trade launches the crypto ETF summer. You know what? The SEC is 95% likely to approve. Spot ETFs for Litecoin, Solana, and XRP this year, according to ETF analysts. However, they will simply do it in July along with everything else if they want to go nuts, and the level of bullishness will be absolutely maximal. Alright, so it's very certain that these ETFs will be allowed. Wow, then we saw that 27% of Koreans between the ages of 20 and 50 own cryptocurrency, and 70% of them intend to acquire more. Today, cryptocurrency accounts for 14% of their assets, driven primarily by retirement objectives and financial pressure. Because of this, we now see that everyone wants to date men, but guess what? Assets or coins don't go to Bitcoin. It doesn't even provide as much of a return as XRP or an altcoin, do you? Let's now discuss alt season and the latest developments in UK cryptocurrency. Will XRP take the lead in the alt season? The question is, will volume rise above 114,000, which is supported by Bitcoin's 1-hour spike this morning? Push the liquidity above us? Then, I believe that we are here, which means that we are here. Okay, so we're essentially here, guys. We will enter the thick liquidity on a daily basis and most likely begin the entire season box over here, guys, if we receive a short-term push into this liquidity. During this shift, XRP went from 55 cents to $3. Correct? Does that imply that XRP will reach $10 if this recurs? Correct. Thus, everything appears to be fantastic. Let's discuss it. What is going on with the dominance chart for Bitcoin? All right. Therefore, I'm observing divergences that are either triggered, confirmed, or developing as we speak on the 12-hourly, daily, 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, and 5-day charts. I should also add the weekly. As I mentioned, it begins when we see a red candle like this, don't you think? Additionally, we'll begin to rally strongly, and the first indications are there right now, correct? Alts kind of skyrocketed today because of this. So folks, everything is looking fantastic. The monthly close for all assets was just completed. Well, history is repeated by XRP. The monthly chart reflects the 6-tap breakout from 2017, 30 cents to $3 back. Test, correct? Take a look at this breakout.